Choco was one of the first dogs I met when I came here, and I felt just this instant attraction to him. You know, I wanted to know him because he just has such a personality. He's always got a smile on, he's always so happy, and he's been one of the longest term dogs here, and then I found out he was one of the longest term dogs at the shelter.
Choco and I actually go way back to his days at the shelter, and Choco was one of those dogs that no matter how fantastic we said he was, for some reason he just kept getting overlooked, and so he ended up being at the shelter for quite a few months. Choco was one of the favorites at the shelter. Everybody loved him. So when we would be faced with making some tough decisions at the shelter because we were running out of space, due to the amount of time that he had spent at the shelter without interest, there were numerous occasions where his name was kind of added to the list of dogs that would unfortunately need to be PTS to make room for other dogs. But because we all kind of saw the gem that he is, and we were all so just absolutely in love with him, you know, we had a lot of the staff that would advocate and would fight to keep him off of that list. And thankfully MarleysMutts stepped up and were able to pull Choco from the shelter and get him out of that environment.
So when I met Choco, he was here out in one of the yards. So I decided to bring him into my office for a bit, get him used to being inside. And once he got used to it, he did not want to leave. So now a big part of what we do is bring these different dogs into our office, and Choco has been the mainstay in my office.
He's a sweet boy. He's the one that we tend to put like more shut down dogs with because he's very confident and he kind of helps to bring them out of their shell a little bit.
He's one of the favorites here at the ranch. Every time I walk him around the ranch, people are just so excited to see him and he's excited to see them.
There's this Eastern Asian philosophy called wabi-sabi, and it celebrates the things that are perfectly imperfect. And that's for some reason the first thing that pops into my head when I think of Choco. He is the absolute most delightful dog. He wants to please, he's so affectionate and loving, but he's just so strange, right? He's so perfectly imperfect. He does this little smile, which is something he learned in the shelter to do so he'd get pets. But he's the only dog I've ever seen in my life who actually smiles.
It kind of amazes me that he hasn't been adopted yet.
So Choco was actually a dog that was pulled on May 4th of last year. So that is right around the corner of being his year anniversary with us.
Choco is a boy who's been here too long.
He's a big, strong guy, and I think part of it is, you know, he's a big pitty. He has the big pitty head, and that can be intimidating to some people. But once they meet him, Choco is the type of dog that you just fall in love with instantly. You can't help but love this big guy.
It's just like a little ball of love.
He is just the coolest dog.
A little crock pot full.
He loves his toys. He has his big traffic cone that he loves to run around with. And as you can see, he's just the friendliest thing you could ever meet.
He's a supersized crock pot full.
He just wants to love on everybody he meets.
And I'm telling you, that dog will turn heads when you're walking him down the street. If you need a dog that's to be your companion, to be more than a pet, Choco, I think, is the perfect dog for that.
He brings so much joy, you know. He's so content to just hang out on his dog bed with his toy, sitting right next to you. And if you work from home, if you just want a friend to hang out with in your yard that'll lounge with you, this is the guy.
He's a 5-star dog and they don't come around. Please guys, get out there. Let's get Choco a home.